What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good Friday. Bobby Fye here. Sheets will be here joining us in about 15 minutes. I thought I'd talk through a little bit of what I'm doing, and then when Sheets gets in, we can talk about his stuff. I'll run some sims real quick and show you guys, what's out there. But just to give you an idea of my personal exposure, post to the Discord. I'm a little bit spread out. There's a lot of stacks tonight, and really hard gravitating to just one for me. I feel like a lot of teams rate out to be very, very similar. So somebody's probably going to go off and get there. I am going to probably regret doing this thing that I always talk about, preaching about stacking against good bullpens. I still like Baltimore a lot today against Carrasco, for what it's worth. I just really like him, and I know there's a good bullpen behind him. It's been the best in recent baseball history. So I'm going to be very heavy on the Baltimore side of things. You also have the cheap, one of the top prospects in all of baseball, and Kobe Mayo, hitting, 8th, but he's 2K flat. Cleveland on the other side, I think, is kind of interesting as well. I think both these offenses make a lot of sense today. Other things that I'm getting to stacks-wise before I get into pitching, Braves, but I prefer keeping it 4 or less if possible, just because I don't love stacking against bullpens on large slates. However, I think it's worth it enough to take a shot here. We do have it's a real bullpen game, but I am definitely going to get to some Braves. I'm going to get to some Boston. I never play Boston outside of Boston. Tonight will be an exception. I will play some Boston outside of Boston. I'm going to get to the Dodgers quite a bit, and I'm going to get to a little bit of Seattle, a little bit of San Diego. So those are the main ones I'm looking at. The thing that I have to decide is what's going to happen with the weather in this Yankee game. Hopefully when Sheets is on, we got the boots on the ground type of stuff, and we can get Sheets to update us with that, with what he's got there. But as of right now, they have the game. Roth has the game at orange yellow. Shout out to Roth. It's a little scary to just take pieces. So if I'm going to stack the Yankees, I'm going to try and make it a full stack. If I'm going to stack anything from Toronto, I'm going to want it with the Yankees on the other side or as a full stack. And if I was going to play a pitcher in that game, which I don't think I'm going to end up doing, I would probably want a stack to go with it as well. Just because the weather is for a game that, good hitting condition. It's in New York. It's at Yankee Stadium. It's a great spot. So that's sort of where I'm at there. So the big news that changed since earlier today is we have Blake Snell as one of the options, which we did not see. I actually still am going to keep a little bit of my Cincinnati exposure. I'm also going to play some of Blake Snell. I currently have Blake Snell as my main SP on FanDuel. On DraftKings, I have him as another guy, basically. Where's my core over here? Let's pull my core over here. You guys can kind of see just the individual plays that I went after. I put a number of pitchers in there. They're a little different now. I don't know why Morton's still in there. Sometimes they keep the guy from yesterday. But Kikuchi, Ryan, Schwellenbach, and Abbott were the main ones I was initially. I'm going to take I don't mind even leaving Abbott on there, whatever. I'm going to actually put Blake Snell as one of the other ones to consider, just because I think he does have the upside. Let's just do this like this. We'll see the expected strikeouts. You can see Snell right at the top. So we are going to add Snell to the list of the core 5. I don't usually have that many pitchers as a core group, but today I feel similar to the pitching as I do to the hitting, that there's a lot of different options, and I'm getting exposure to a number of different things. However, my favorite is Joe Ryan. Just think it's the best play on the slate. And you can look, right here, though, it is kind of interesting to see. You sort by strikeouts, and you see that Snell is actually projected ahead of Ryan for expected strikeouts, and then Ryan, Kikuchi. Then you have Gausman, who no one's. I might have to throw Gausman into a lineup with some Blue Jays or something like that, because I have a little bit of interest in Gausman, and I have a little bit of interest in the Yankee stack. I just can't figure out exactly which way to go. No one is going to play Andrew Abbott as of right now, and I think that's a really good off the board play. You could throw Tyler Phillips into the mix as well. Although, again, I'm siding a little bit more with the Philly hitting. So let's just see. Let's build some lineups. We'll change a couple of little things by a tiny bit. We'll just make this 20 and make this 21. And we are going to see what we get from SaberSim if we build, and we'll build let's see. What's that? Okay, so we want to build, let's say we're building 100. Let's just say we'll do out of 2,000 instead of out of 1,000. Out of 5. And then we'll do the contest sim. We'll add the contest sim, and we'll do it, I guess, for the lottery tonight, the $8 tournament, which is $50K for first. I'm just going to have to find it here. Wish there was a better way they organize this. They don't quite have it organized in a way, and I think we could probably do a lot better than this. So not ideal, but it is what it is. I always spend some time searching for it. Okay, where are we at? Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. There's too many things. Oh, God, it just drives me nuts. We need some sort of an order. It can't be, it needs something. It doesn't make any sense to me this way. All right, where power rally? Oh, there we go, rally cap. Okay. All right, so we're going to run this and see what we get. And we're going to try a few different things. We're also going to go for probably a couple min uniques. We'll play around with that in just a second, but sort of want to give you guys an idea of what SaberSim says. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I know a lot of you guys are not members of the site. I would encourage you to check it out if you're looking at anything. We basically charge the same as we're a couple dollars more than SaberSim, but it's got all of our SaberSim's content. Sheets' projections have been basically like the best in the industry for the last while since he really started playing heavy. I would encourage people to check that out. Sheets has got great projections, as does Goldie. You get all of my content, all of Rhodey's content, all of Brandon Cruz for NASCAR and some showdown stuff. Just a lot of really, really good stuff that we have. And I think that you've got it's a way to get different for you large players that are multi-entering. And it's a really good way to get a baseline for those of you who are new to the game. So please check out our membership page. It's written down there at the bottom of the screen. And with that said, we are going to see what we get. So let's take a look exposure-wise. They've got Snell as number one. They got 65%. You can see only 30% of the pool, but the most optimal lineups go more towards Snell. They're into fading the Kikuchi. I'm playing some Kikuchi, but he's lower for me a little bit than the other guys. I have Schwellenbach a little bit higher than this. I do have some Vasquez and some Stone. So nothing all that shocking. I would probably, if I was playing 150, get to a little bit, or even just 100, whatever. I'd probably get to some more Gaussman, probably a little more Tyler Anderson, a little less Blake Snell. Joey Estes I would not be getting to. Tyler Phillips I'd get a little bit of. That's pretty much the guys who I would look at. So let's see what they say for hitting, and let's see what they say for stacks. You can see they're going to be high on the Giants. It looks like very, very high on the Giants, very high on the Blue Jays with the Shohei one-off thing exposure-wise. So that's kind of interesting. And not doing the Yankees thing at high ownership is interesting to me without also forcing in a lot of the others. So let's go to team stacks. Let's see what they're giving us. Oh, did I run this? Let me see something. Let me do this. I'm going to do that while we do this. And then we're going to start multing the min uniques. We're going to switch that around. So you can see they're going hard, heavy on the Giants, 57%. It's interesting. The problem I have with the Giants stack, especially on DraftKings, you have two players that are not in the player pool. So you're not going to be getting unique by playing the Giants the way you normally would, because anybody who has that stack, especially in a tournament like the lottery, they've got multiple versions of it. So I really don't like the idea that they have multiple versions. You're going to run into the same exact version of your stack that someone else has, because it's basically impossible for you not to. Not to say that stack's going to be crazy popular, but you can't get different with the stack. I love being able to get different with my stack. So that's where I'm at. I am not going to be as high on the Blue Jays as this is showing. I don't mind getting to some of them, but I would put this, let's just say, let's do this and see what this gives us. Okay, let's go to 20% max of those teams. And then we get the Mets. I think that's a very interesting one that I didn't get to, but I certainly would have considered it if I was scripting the lottery. I think that's a very, very, very solid play. And you can see we get to our Baltimore, we get to our LA Dodgers. We start doing that, and then we go to min uniques. Let's go to 3. And you see it evens out even a little bit more. And I like this a little bit better. Let's see 5-man stacks wise. So yeah, heavy on the 5-man stacks, but spread out a little bit. I like this. I would be okay with this kind of a build. And I also think you're going to get you're going to get some 4-man stacks. So interesting. You do have some of that 3-man stacks. You've got, let's see, Dodgers only pretty spread out on the 3-mans. And then the 2 stacks, again, going to be spread out. So you're going to be looking at some 5-1-1-1s based on this. And you can see it's going to change every time if you want to change the min exposures for obvious reasons. San Diego, another interesting one that I didn't get to. I feel like there's a lot of them that are interesting today, and it's kind of hard. I'm having a hard time pinpointing my exact favorites. And in that case, I'm going to go with elite offenses like the Dodgers, like the Orioles. Orioles, again, great matchup, but terrible matchup versus the bullpen. Dodgers, great matchup, not a great park to stack in. And not at full strength, obviously. Hopefully, I'll hope out to Freddie, to the Freeman family and their kid. He's going through some serious stuff with the brain and stuff. So I just hope for the best for Freddie Freeman. Would like the Dodgers a lot better, obviously, if they were full strength. And we don't really know what their lineup's going to look like. They haven't released it as of when I came on. It probably will come out very shortly, is my guess. We did just get a Mariners lineup. Looks pretty straightforward, like I thought it would. Close enough to what I thought. And then we got the Phillies lineup just came in. Yeah, basically what you'd expect from the Phillies. So nothing that's really standing out in a glaring way to me there. But anyway, you can see. So we went to the min exposure. Let's see what it did for our pitching when we did that. Let's see if we still have the Blake Snell at 65% or something like that. 68%. They even higher. So let's go back to 3. Let's see where it takes us. Okay, 66. Let's just say, okay, let's say I like Blake Snell. I don't know if I want to have that much of him on this slate. Let's put him at 45% and see what happens. Oops, 4 or 5. Why is that happening? Max exposure 4-0 then. What is going on? Here, let's just try it this way. That's really weird. But they're just not going to let me do it. I have to click one button at a time here. So I'm going to take this down to 45% and just see what that does. All right. So they really want all the Blake Snell you're going to give them. Then they go Joe Ryan, get more Stone, more Vasquez, a little more Schwellenbach and Kikuchi. Let's see what that does for our hitting. And we are going to go to the team stacks. And you still see the Mets, Toronto, San Francisco, Baltimore, LA Dodgers, Yankees, San Diego. Good with all of these teams. I like all those stacks. Feels like it's a good multi-entry night. $8 tournament is playing tonight. So if there's a time to try and go for it for a big one for one of you guys, maybe this is the night. So I think it's interesting. What's that? It's easier if you click on the contest in the top left and you go to all contests. At least you find it easier. Okay, I'll check that out some other time. Not while I'm live on air, but appreciate the words of help there, Temming. I'll consider that. Pete, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Look at that, a new pitcher here.
Yeah, the new pitcher who's, again, Saberson wants to give you all of them. So you're going to have to.
I'm building this literally right now.
Yep.
I'm going to see exactly how much they want to give me.
Yeah,
and how much I feel like taking.
Yeah.
Well, certainly wants to give me quite a bit, along with his teammates.
Watch this.
Yeah. Sorry. What was that?
I said along with his teammates.
I'm just trying to see what the Dodgers are doing because and Kevin Keener are optioned. Okay, so we don't have a Dodger lineup, but I was trying to see what's happening here, and that's what I was looking at. Yeah, I'm curious about the thing because what I keep going through when I look at this slate is there's a lot of stacks that I like and not that many that I'm like in love with and feel like I need to play. It's not like there's somebody who's really standing out as the obvious play. I think you could argue that with Atlanta, but Atlanta is going to face basically a complete bullpen game. Now it's not a good bullpen, and it's everybody's a minor leaguer basically, but it's a little tough. So I'm having trouble really setting, in my hand builds, which is everything for me today. I'm having trouble just committing to some of these lineups, and especially, the main thing I guess I should have started off with you is what are we doing with the New York game? Because we still got that as orange yellow for Roth. What do you think about this?
I'll say this. I'll say this. You want to talk about boots on the ground? Ashley's going to the game.
There you go. Oh, boots literally at the game.
Yeah.
Oh, wild. Okay, and it looks like it's now been lowered just in the last few minutes to a yellow orange. Roth feels, confident that it's looking more and more likely to play after the initial late start. So hopefully that's where it ends up. The thing I'm struggling with those, I really liked. I had a Yankees Dodger thing, like a 4-4 that I liked. Sorry, a 4-3-1 with the Dodgers Yankees, and then I think my other one was from Toronto. And I didn't know if I was trying to decide, is that enough to play of a game? Or if I'm going to play it, should I just have 5-man stacks from it? Just because, I know you always want 5-man stacks anyway, but just because if you're going to play any game with a weather risk, is that something we should be considering? So that was where I was at. And the truth is Baltimore and Cleveland is also a little bit scary. And Baltimore is the team I sort of have gravitated onto, probably the most. Even with the bullpen that I keep warning everybody of. I just think that they're in elite offense against Carrasco. Hard for me to resist them, especially with that one of the top prospects in all of baseball, that 2K flat. So I really like the bottom of their order. I like him, and then Holiday after him. So I'm into the Baltimore thing. I just am a little worried about the weather in that one as well.
Where did that guy end up being batting? The Orioles guy.
8th.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't on all nights, but tonight there's, I don't mind the idea of using him batting eighth, even as a one-off if you ended up with it. Talented guy, power, speed, upside. So that's the things you want. Anyway, so I went through my pitching stuff already. I still have Ryan and Schwellenbach as my favorite on DraftKings. And on FanDuel, I have Snell as my main pitcher because he's a pretty good discount over there. And for what it's worth, Snell has the highest K prop, the highest strikeout expected rate today, all that stuff. However, and Cincinnati and San Francisco in this game with lefties are two of the teams that have been pretty bad against lefties and also high strikeouts. So I still have some Abbott, and I also have some Giants. That's what I sort of am struggling with today, is just really fine tuning exactly what I want.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just way spread out. So my top guys in the lottery are, well, this is actually pretty chalky. I mean, like really, like in order. Top owned Ryan, Kikuchi, Snell, Schwellenbach, then Vasquez, Stone, and Drek.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. And I don't think you need to worry about, okay, look, it's always good to get off the board or whatever, but I don't think that I have no idea what offense is going to pick up a ton of ownership today. Like, I really can't find one that looks like it's going to be hardly that high owned enough to where I'd want to fade them entirely. It's going to be the Yankees, Toronto. I guess it's going to be the Yankees, Toronto. That's really the ones. Like, I don't know. And even that, so we've got Stroman and Gaussman on the mound, and that's the game that's supposed to be where we stack everybody. I don't know. It doesn't seem like the optimal thing to do, but it is what it is. And the Yankees lineup tonight, I mean, this is the best lineup they've had in a while.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's just because they you've got Stanton back, you've got your six hitter in what's his name in Jazz. It's just there's a lot of upside for this offense, just no matter who they play, to be honest with you. And it's a great, as you know, it's really warm there and it's humid, so it's great hitting conditions. But Verdugo, Soto, Judge, Wells, Stanton, Jazz, Glaber batting seventh, even Rice Rice eighth and Volpe ninth. Volpe went from leading off to ninth. That makes you feel like that. It's just the stack feels very deep. Yeah, it's going to be a tough road for Gaussman, but I also do think that getting to some Gaussman just for tournament's sake is he's got the same upside as every stud on the slate, and the Yankees can occasionally have those strikeout games. There's enough guys in that lineup who do strike out, but they also have tremendous power. So
yeah, so it's going to be a bunch of San Francisco for me, both pitching and hitting. As far as the some leverage type stacks, I'm actually getting some Miami. Just I guess I have Schwellenbach a little bit higher owned, I guess. But like I said, I mean, there's nobody good on that team.
Right.
But I also like some Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota, San Francisco. Probably end up doing some late swapping, but when am I going to do that? Before the 9:30, yeah, before the 9:30 games. Did you get to any that's like Seattle, Colorado, any of these late games besides the Dodgers?
I do kind of like Seattle, for what it's worth. I don't know where I end up with them totally, but I do kind of like to getting to some of the Seattle. I understand the pitcher on the other side, Phillips taking that, but I think Seattle is an interesting get different stack. For sure tonight, so I'm totally on board with that.
Let me take a look and see. Well, that's so. Why did we not think Snell was pitching, and then why is he pitching?
He wasn't. They announced it.
Why wasn't he? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what happened to Kyle Harrison today. I don't have any idea.
Oh, Kyle Harrison. He was the guy who was supposed to be pitching. Okay, I forgot.
Yeah. Possibly because I don't know, I guess maybe they're giving him an extra day of rest because he threw 106 pitches, which is a season high on his last start. Probably that's why.
You like any Tampa?
I mean, if you look at this Tampa lineup, it makes it very hard to like and very easy to understand why Kikuchi will be very popular, just to be honest. I like that Morel's in there now. I guess they have that going, but like Johnny DeLuca batting 6. Dylan Carlson, our favorite, now playing with Tampa Bay. Dylan Carlson batting 2nd with his 160 average and 1 home run or whatever. Curtis Mead batting 5th.
But is it a thing like in baseball? Like if you don't expect to be starting, are you like less inclined to do better? You know what I mean? I'm trying to make a case against Snell, sort of. Or is that really not a thing?
It's an interesting point, I guess. Yeah, I guess it is a little, I guess for some pitchers, I think that probably is a thing, but maybe, I don't know.
If they have a set routine that they like do the night before they start and then they don't do it, then I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, the thing that I like that's encouraging from Snell is that he has been unbelievably good. And it's a little no, he's been like incredible. Like he had 15 strikeouts in his last start. I'm a little like, it's weird because both those guys, just Harrison and Snell back to back, just went nuts on, and Snell threw a season high of pitches last game out as well at 100 with 103. So I don't know. I'm fine with fading him. I still like the Schwellenbach play too, and I'm totally good with taking that route instead. But if you want I think Snell has the upside, and we certainly know he has the downside. That's why I'm going to leave a couple red stacks in there against him.
Yeah, I'm not going to play him in my biggest buy-in. I'm going to play him in. I have a good amount of him in like the lotteries and stuff though. I'm actually going with the Ryan Kikuchi, I think, in the other one. But
yeah, I was actually looking and seeing if did the Kikuchi. So his ownership hasn't really like come down as much, but it is a little bit down. Like, you know what I mean? He was going to be the second highest owned pitcher. Now he's probably going to be 3rd. Maybe that is the right thing to do, especially when you look at that Tampa Bay lineup. I mean, I don't know. Some of it is just name value. You can't even look at how they are against lefties because like half these guys weren't in the major leagues basically this season. Like Tampa Bay's lineup looks like the Miami lineup to me. So maybe that's the thing to do. Maybe if you want to just go for the other team's just terrible, just play Schwellenbach and Kikuchi. That's fine too. Anyway, but yeah, it's a fun slate. It's a big one. I was saying there's the $8 tournament today, so I would encourage people if they're going to take some chances on trying mass multi-entering. Today's a more affordable day to do it, and it's also the right kind of a slate that feels like, boy, there's a lot of stuff out there and nothing looks like it's overly chalky. So I think it's probably a good idea to get some exposure everywhere there.
Hold on a minute. Hang on. Just
do your thing.
Just a second. What is Blake Snell is 8,100 on FanDuel?
That's why he's my pitcher on FanDuel.
Oh, nice ownership projection, everybody. I'm getting like 20% ownership. How is he not like 40%?
It's just because it's easy to play Ryan if you want to.
I guess so.
It's just easy to get what you want. But what I really wanted to do is every time we get slates like this where I don't have I wanted to start my lineups with the Judge and the Ohtani, and then you start having to worry about pricing a little bit on DraftKings. On FanDuel, you still do as well, but there's just so many options of guys who are super cheap over there. Just easy enough.
I don't know. There's one site that's going to be nameless that has Blake Snell on FanDuel at 11% ownership. I just want to play with their site. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, seriously. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
No, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like, shoot. What we got? Ryan at 30. I guess Kikuchi's close enough in price, but it just doesn't make that much sense. I mean, Snell has that. Like I said, he's the highest strikeout prop. He actually is projecting for more fantasy points than Kikuchi, but they have him still lower owned, which feels strange, or similarly owned. Yeah. Anyway. That's what I'm thinking.
I listen. The good thing is I'm. It looks like most of my players are in. That's good.
Yeah.
Except the Dodgers haven't released their lineup yet, right?
Yeah, and there was some announcement they just made that I was trying to read, but for some reason it didn't take me to the right spot. But I think they may have optioned Kiermaier and Rosario to the minor league.
Oh no,
we just don't know. Honestly, until their lineup comes out, it's going to be hard to know who's playing. But let me see. Because I'm looking at the what's it called, the Underdog, and they haven't even tweeted about it yet. I just got it from my Dodgers fan thing.
I got Nick Ahmed projected. I mean,
okay, so let's see. That might mean that's the info that we needed. Well, he was going to be in there anyway, I think. Let's take a quick look here, and yeah, it does look like So I think that we can assume that Kiermaier and Rosario are not going to be in the lineup tonight as of right now. And I don't think it hurts you that much to assume that, because the guys are similarly priced if you wanted to go a different route. Or they're cheaper at least. I'm going to take a look real quick at the weather and see if anything's changed with the two games that I really like. Do you know what I may end up doing, though, is just go what we talked about earlier. We mentioned this about Boston. Like, if this game was being played in Boston, this Boston-Texas game, Boston would be the chalk by far. Wouldn't even be close. And then you look at Boston's best 3 hitters who are significantly better on the road this year, except for, Devers is the same. The other 2 are significantly better on the road. Texas's bullpen is the 4th worst in baseball. Feels like a pretty good spot to. So I haven't gotten into it yet, but there's an excellent chance that Boston ends up as my main stack in my big buy-in.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know if I've ever played Boston on the road as my main stack, but they're so priced up from that little tiny stadium. But this year, I mean, like, I can't argue with the numbers. They are what they are. So, all right. What else do we have? I'm going to have to go rebuild a few things because I've got a lot of those Dodgers that aren't playing in my lineups. I would like to know who's in their actual lineup, though, before I totally change everything.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be. Let's see. Going down real quick. And yeah, so they have Lux, Teoscar, Hayward, Palhez, Biggio. Yeah, okay. I think I feel like I know what I'm going to do there. Kike should maybe make it into the lineup today. I don't know if he will. Let me take a quick look at one other guy. I thought Outman. I didn't think they sent him back down, but I feel like I missed something.
Outman?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know what's happened. So I guess he could potentially play instead of Kike if he's still available, but I thought they were going to let the other guys in and he was going to be sent down. So I really am confused because that came on literally right after you came on. So I don't know what's happening with them yet. All right. What else do we have here? Okay. All right. So I ran some sims before, and I've played around with a few things. And if I was playing the lottery today, I probably would get to. Why is this happening like that? Oh, hey, where did it go with my build? Oh, it's FanDuel. That's why.
Did you ever get paid back by DraftKings or anything? Or
no, my host is still working on it. Kind of tilting, to be honest with you. On Twitter, people got really upset. I posted one thing and I had about 1 million people just, writing that, and then other people who took that same tweet and said, "See, DraftKings, you're not even helping guys who've been playing with you forever." Like, there was a lot. I didn't want to start a whole thing. I just want them to fix it. Anyway, so there's the Giants-Reds game will be delayed because of weather. I don't think that's going to change anything. I think that was sort of, if you look at the weather in Cincinnati, it looks like it gets much, much better in about an hour. So I totally understand why they'd delay it. I would not let that affect your decision-making in regards to that game. And what else do we have? Yeah, on FanDuel, for what it's worth, my stacks are Atlanta, Minnesota, Baltimore, and the Dodgers. All right. And for those of you who are members, I did post my current exposure. I think I'm going to end up with less Baltimore and more Boston, is what I think.
Okay.
So, any questions? Anybody out there? Any thoughts?
Well, I guess I'm gonna get out of here. I guess. So we got there's 2 MMA videos that are. Well, actually, one got posted today. I did a betting breakdown. It was still uploading when I left my office, so I have to log into my office computer and put that up. And I have some other, as I mentioned, kind of like just live lineup builds, just kind of randomly just getting posted. Like if I build like a League of Legends thing, I'll like record it and I'll talk through it and I'll put it up there. And I'm not gonna post it until the slate loss, because that's not fair.
Mhm.
But again, I'm just playing around with different things. So if anybody has any comments on that, post them in the YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah, and I would encourage people to check those videos out. I think they're really, really helpful. I mean, I've played this stuff for a long time, but you do things in a totally different way than I do, and I feel like I learned something even watching them myself. So I feel like anybody could benefit from just checking it out. All right. With that said, Sheets, good luck tonight, and have a good weekend. Everybody, good luck, and I'll see you guys in Discord, and I'll update my exposures when I'm done.